Welcome to Arcade Audio.
Welcome to Dilettante Ball. I'm Johnny.
I am Spencer.
Here on Dilettante Ball, we go on Wikipedia. Fuck! We go on FridayNightLights.fandom.com.
We click a random article.
And we talk about it.
Yeah, we do.
Absolutely unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. And here we are, basically, we're almost at the end of the year and you still haven't figured it out.
Well, we're not to the end of the year, but we're almost halfway through the year.
You know, we're only about 5 months away from Halloween, so I hope you have your costume figured out.
Dude, I'm so scared for Halloween.
I know, it's a spooky holiday. Man,
you know what really...
Well, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, you go.
I was watching a documentary series on Shudder about basically just urban legends, and these people are just going through, and like every urban legend has like a basis in fact, even if the legend itself isn't true. And so one of the ones they were going through was the one, kids getting poisoned or have razor blades in their candy after trick or treating. Do you know where that all stemmed from? Like in the in American popular...
wasn't it like someone who knew the kid or something crazy?
Yeah, it was the kid's own father that did it.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's crazy that he, of all the kids, he accidentally gave it to his own son.
It's a 1 in a million. Can you believe that? Yeah.
I've been thinking a lot because Universal Studios Orlando is about to reopen, which feels ill-advised to me.
Oh, big time, yeah.
And that makes me feel like they're just gonna go ahead and do Halloween Horror Nights, and
so
I will not be attending.
No, you have to go. You're conscripted, or else this is gonna be like the year that the United States boycotted the Olympics.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
I've been we'll see what happens. I've been watching against my will. I've been watching America's Next Top Model.
Okay, what cycle?
Yeah, cycle 22, double X double I. And that's just the one I'm currently, and it's not me watching. I'm just for whatever reason my girlfriend likes to like hang out with me. So I have to stay in the living room with her and play my Animal Crossing while what she is doing is mainly watching ANTM.
Sure.
So I've watched like I don't even know 3 or 4 seasons now. So this is the cycle. Excuse me, sorry. This is the cycle that has Niall, and Niall is a deaf man, and he is a dreamboat and so cool, just the coolest guy ever. It's just very nice to have a nice. It's nice when there are nice people on a show, you know.
Well, can I sweeten the deal for you?
I'd love that.
I am familiar with Niall.
Okay.
Not from ANTM, but from DWTS. Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, thank you. I never would have got that. Wow, I'm so happy to hear that. He's in a season that's just full of mean people, and he's like one of the 2 nice people. So I'm glad that he gets more work.
He's great. It's wild to see him like dance because he can't hear the music.
Right, yeah.
And he's fucking good.
See, that's the difference between a good dancer and a great dancer. A good dancer hears the music. A great dancer feels the music.
I mean, he talks about that and how like literally that's what he does. It's fucking wild.
It's amazing.
Do yourself a favor and look at some clips.
I may do. You know what? Also, I'm getting so close to maybe watching The Masked Singer, just because it's such an intriguing concept.
It's pretty wild. I've never watched it, but the concept is wild, and I'm right there with you.
I don't know if I could. I think the best way to view it would be if someone took every episode in a season or cycle, excuse me, and then just made a supercut. Basically, like it'd be like an hour worth of content, and would just be like, here's the person from this week that got out, and then we see them sing, and then they get revealed just like a real nice boiled.
Because that's
down.
all you want. You just want the reveal.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't need Ken Jeong talking to me in any capacity, or whoever else. Who else is on that show? Is Ken Jeong even on that show?
He is.
Okay.
He's won every season. They just keep putting him in all these different masks. It's crazy.
Oh man, that'd be amazing.
Speaking of Ken Jeong, I've been rewatching Community on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's a fine show.
Is it the thing? Is it the kind of thing where like what the name of the trope is Seinfeld isn't funny, and the concept of that is if you go back and watch Seinfeld, you don't think it's really that funny because 30 years after it aired, everything's basically ripped it off.
No, I'm familiar with the trope. I don't think it's that because first of all, Community only stopped airing like 4 years ago, and it's just like, aside from the fact that a lot of the stuff is pretty rough, a lot of like racist and homophobic jokes that I think that they made a character racist and homophobic so that they could tell these hilarious jokes.
Yeah, that's such a gross like cop out, or I don't even know what you would call it.
Yeah, it's like a loop. It's like a loophole, or they think it's a loophole.
Yeah.
But aside from that, like I have laughed at some things, and it's fun from time to time. But a lot of it is just like so absolutely up its own ass. It was the perfect show for me to get into, like when it came out when we were like in early college or something.
Yeah. Yes.
Perfect time.
Yeah. That checks out.
Anyway, give it a watch. It's on Netflix.
I'm good. I've been watching. Have I talked about this Chasing Monsters, the fishing show? I think I have.
Yes, you have. Yeah.
It's great. So check out that show. If you like, he fishes and then just lets them go. He doesn't even keep them.
So he's just ruining their day.
Yeah. Well, and even there's been some times where he's like caught the fish, and normally he'll like keep the fish, like out to be like, oh, check this out with this thing, or check out this, whatever anatomy feature. But every once in a while he'll be like, okay, cool, I caught this fish, but I'm gonna let him go immediately because I think the fight was too much for him, and I want to make sure he's okay. And so he spends the whole time like 45 minutes catching the fish, and then just lets it go.
Is fishing bad for the fish? Like, it can't be good for a fish to get caught like that, right?
I don't know. Maybe it's like a forest fire where it's actually good. Maybe they get strengthened.
I'm doing controlled fishing.
This is controlled fishing.
This is a prescribed fishing.
I think that's how they tore down the hospital in my hometown. They used a controlled fishing method.
Yeah, man, I remember that. Everyone gathered around, watched it. Mm-hmm. It was like a big deal.
Yeah, it was. Like, some people got too close to the splash zone, which is not safe.
It just feels like what if you did that with like bears? Like you caught a bear in a bear trap and you're like, I fucking got him, and then you just open it up, let him go.
Yeah, go home, little bear. Oh shit! I've been wanting to rewatch The Revenant recently, and that reminds me of that.
I've never watched that movie.
Man, I loved it. It's a rugged film, man. Like really, really crazy film. And also there's also like some cool technical aspects about it that are fun. Like all of the lighting in it is natural. There's no electrical lights.
Whoa.
It's all So it's really fun to watch the movie with keeping that in mind and seeing how beautiful everything looks.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Also, the bear attack was real.
And the whole thing was shot on an iPhone.
That's another thing, by the way, about America's Next Top Model that is just the worst for me, is their attempts to like naturally integrate product placement of things that aren't like makeup or things that make sense to be in there. Like
right.
Every season will be like, yeah, it was great. I called my mom using the Line app on this phone, and the Line app's great because the fidelity is so high. It's just like every episode there's someone using the Line app or whatever.
I told her about how much I like Skyline chili.
Yeah, really. Just like, ugh, this is so gross. Whatever.
We're rewatching New Girl right now, which is just a delight. It's a very nice show. And there was one. So like every episode in the credits, I've noticed it says like promotional consideration provided by Ford Motor Company, because like a couple characters drive Fords, but they don't ever say it. And then in one episode, they like get in someone's car and it's a Ford, and they're like, I forget exactly what it was, but it's like, this car's so quiet, why can't I hear it? And he's like, it's a hybrid right now, it's running on electric. And then there's like a little display screen, and there's like a weird design on the screen, and they're like, what are all these leaves? And he's like, oh well, that's what coaches me to drive more like more responsibly or more eco-friendly or whatever.
That's amazing.
And they like hadn't done that before or after on the show. It was like Ford was like, guys, you got to give us something. We've been giving you these free cars. You got to give us something.
Well, I told you about that episode of The Sopranos where they do that, right?
Yes. Oh my God.
Tony just gives his daughter or whatever, and he's like, "Yeah, it's great. I thought about you. It's got the side airbags and $10,100 warranty or whatever the fuck it is."
Some people just like their cars because they've got the most legroom in their class, and that's fine. Right. And you don't need to talk about it all the time. You don't need to.
But every once in a while,
some people just like them. Yeah.
Do you want to get an article?
Yeah, I will.
Okay, great.
Let's see. Okay. Virgil Merriweather.
Okay. Was this that he signed the Declaration of Independence, right?
I think so. Yeah, he signed the biggest. That's why everyone says, "Let me get your Virgil Merriweather." Virgil Merriweather is a former state championship winning quarterback of the East Dillon Lions and father of Jess Merriweather and her younger brothers.
Okay.
He is initially shown as resentful of Vince's friendship with Jess. Okay, so he's resentful of someone's friendship with his daughter.
This is really,
but later,
the names are interesting because when I hear the name Virgil as a wrestling fan, Virgil was a wrestler back in the 80s. He wrestled with he was basically like the manservant of the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, and I want to say his name was Virgil because that was like the middle name or the real name or something of the guy who was the booker for the opposing company, WCW. I may have the facts slightly wrong on that, but then when Virgil went and wrestled, he changed companies and wrestled for WCW. He was named Vincent, I believe, to make fun of Vince McMahon. So it's interesting the names are Vince and Virgil. It makes me wonder if that was a coincidence or if someone was a weirdly specific wrestling fan.
A lot of big wrestling fans wrote for Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's that guy that's his whole gimmick is Friday Night Lights based. He's got that 3-part finisher move. Clear eyes, full hearts, and then he gets the pin. 1, 2, 3, can't lose.
Okay, has there ever been a wrestler who has kind of like a crossover gimmick like that? Like, I'm Danny Ford.
There's a wrestler named Brock Lesnar who was sponsored by Jimmy John's for a while, so his trunks just had like the Jimmy John's logo on it. I don't think there's ever been Hijo del Subway or something like. I don't think there's ever been anybody like that.
That'd be kind of fun though.
Yeah, I mean there have been like funny gimmicks that people on the independent circuit might have.
Sure,
but yeah, nothing quite like that.
Did you ever do the thing where so a lot of my projects that I would make in elementary school, I just thought it was funny to say that they were sponsored by something.
Absolutely, yeah. I remember making PowerPoints that were sponsored by Quiznos or whatever.
Why is that funny to children and teens?
Well, I was still doing it when we were doing improv together. Do you remember every once in a while when I would host a show, I'd be like, it's the Doritos, it's, Houndstooth sponsored by Doritos Fiesta Bowl.
Why is that funny?
I don't know why that's funny. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just funny to us.
But why did we both independently make PowerPoint presentations that were sponsored by?
Yeah. It's hard to even really quantify. It reminds me of a time where I was in third grade and I had a writing prompt or something or like we had to write from the point of view of like an Egyptian pharaoh or something.
Okay.
And I wrote in my little thing like, oh boy, it's so hot. I wish they would hurry up and invent air conditioning already. And that's funny, right? Yeah. And my teacher refused to get it. She was like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, how would he know about air? And I was just like, how?
Oh my God.
It's just weird to think that there are back then and certainly now, 9-year-olds who are, funnier and smarter than like a grown person. Isn't that weird?
Was your teacher, like, did they genuinely not get it, or were they being intentionally obtuse to like prove a point to you?
That's a great question. I'm gonna hope for the latter. That's very genuine or very magnanimous of you, I think.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. She was also like my least favorite teacher I've ever had, so I might be assuming she's just a big fucking idiot.
I have also had a least favorite teacher, but that's because he was, I think, of a very. I'm sure I've talked about him, but it's been a while, and I'm willing to drag him again. He told our class that we were poster children for abortion.
Yeah, that's a crazy thing to say.
And we were in 7th grade.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
And then one day after school, I heard him in like the hallway, and he was like literally screaming to no one. Like, every day I pray to God for the strength to get through 7th period, and every day right at the end of 6th he takes it away, and he like slammed on a locker, which is like the most dramatic thing that you could possibly do.
I should have a locker installed in my apartment just so I can do like,
just so you could slam it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was he was bad. He was bad at his job and at being a person. Being
a person in general, yeah, I think so too. I've got a teacher who I'm still friends with on Facebook to this day. Who actually I just tagged him in something the other day. I saw that the Epic Game Store is giving away Civilization 6 for free, and so I was like, dude, Mr. Arnold, you need to get on this, because I know when I had him for 12th grade, he played Civ 3. And he was like, yeah, I saw this.
That one's twice as good.
What's that?
This one's twice as good.
Twice as good. Yeah, twice as good, exactly. So I'm excited to. I got it for free. I'll probably never play it, but hey, I got it.
I know it's a different game, but in my head, it's the same game. Did you play a lot of Sim City?
I've never played Sim City. It felt impossible. It was like a whole city.
I was a big fan of SimCity because you can designate, this is zoned for residential, this is zoned for business, this is zoned for industrial. You just let your city grow.
Just let your city grow. Hey, yeah. Dilettante ball. Just let your city grow.
The wild thing about SimCity is that 98% of the game is like, more or less just sort of real, infrastructure
like
and government.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have to raise taxes to build more stuff. You can lower them, whatever. You have to make sure that there are enough roads and power lines and whatever.
Do you think that you were taught?
But then,
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, but then every now and then, just like a UFO or like a kaiju monster will come and attack your city.
Yeah, you just
But
civic lessons.
Everything else is totally normal. Like,
That's really
and sometimes there'd be like floods or tornadoes, which that
Right.
happens. But then a fucking alien comes and like zaps your city.
Dana was playing. She's big into SimCity or not SimCity. The Sims 4 right now. And
Ooh, I could fuck up the Sims right now. That sounds good.
She had a character who I think at this point had children who then in turn had children. So her starting character was a grandma at this point.
Oh God.
And I was sitting near her and she was like, "Oh boy, this doesn't look good. I think this is gonna be a pretty bad birthday party." And it was like one of the grandkids was having a birthday party, and I was like, "What do you mean it's gonna be a bad birthday party?" And she was like, "Look," and I looked over, and her original character just dropped dead in the middle of the kitchen, and the Grim Reaper came over and took her away, and all the kids at the party were just crying. So not great timing on that one, Graham.
Oh man.
Yeah.
If you could die on anyone's birthday, who would it be?
Oh boy. My own. I'd be like Shakespeare.
Ooh, full circle. Did
Yeah.
Shakespeare
Also,
die
Britney
on his
Spears'
birthday?
birthday.
Did Shakespeare die on his birthday?
I mean, that's what they say. He wasn't.
Sure.
Who even knows?
Shakespeare and Britney Spears have the same birthday?
That's not what I said, but let's assume it is.
Oh.
No,
What did you say about...
I have the same birthday as Britney Spears, so if I died on my own birthday, I'd be dying on her birthday too.
I see. Two houses both alike in dignity.
Yeah, exactly. In our story where Fair Verona lies. Yep, I know that quote.
She's having a fun time right now.
She's burning down gyms with candles. Is that what I heard?
She burned down her gym, and she also posted that I don't know the specifics of the distance and the time, but she basically posted that she ran some 200-meter sprint or some distance, like fucking bonkers faster than Usain Bolt ran it.
Well, it's like Kim Jong-un playing an 18-round game of golf and scoring like a 36.
Getting 17.
Like,
yeah,
exactly. I'll smell you later. Dude, I've been experimenting a little bit with my hot dog technique.
Okay.
I've been frying them up in a pan with some butter, and I've been doing spiral cut on the hot dog.
How does one spiral cut a hot dog?
Yeah. So what I've been doing is start at the top with your knife, and you're gonna like sort of cut in about halfway through the hot dog on a downward angle, and then basically just keep rotating the hot dog around. So you're basically like you're cutting one continuous line. Basically a 45-degree angle, down and to the left or whatever.
So I Googled spiral cut hot dog. Well, I Googled spiral cut, and hot dog was the third suggestion.
Ooh, interesting. This
is not something that I was aware of. What does it do? It looks cool.
It looks cool as shit, right? Yeah. It's it makes sure all the butter gets in there.
Okay.
And I want to say it gives it like a crispier outside and a juicier inside. Yeah. I've been pretty happy with the outcome.
Maybe I'll try that. What if I got to lose?
Yeah, really. That's what I said too. Yeah. Traditionally, I think people when they cook on a frying pan with a hot dog is they'll just cut slits on one side, just like down the length of it. And what that ends up doing is you get a hot dog that like gets curved when it cooks, just the way that.
Yeah.
That's just how it works. But when you spiral cut it, it stays straight.
Interesting. So how did you find out about this?
Oh, I was just watching our Lord and Savior Guy Fieri on his Diners, Drive-Ins and Dives program.
Thank you for playing Arcade Audio. Play more at arcadeaudio.net.